Today we're uncovering a mystery, a long-lost mystery that not many people know about. I originally planned to put this in some Easter egg video, but this is just way too interesting to not make a separate video. Because of my recently released Easter egg video, I was talking to NoobHereo about some Easter eggs that has been seen in RotMG over time. And we came onto the topic of stuff that I didn't know about, and neither did RealMi. A secret sheep level was brought onto the table, and I of course asked, what is the secret sheep level? And you might be asking the same thing, so let's get into it. But first, I'll introduce you to the pal Amit Patel. He worked on the development team when WildShadow still owned the game. He was a mapper, programmer, etc. on the game. The origin of the sheep level began with a post back in late 2010. Just 8 days after the release of build 108.1, Apollo RotMG managed to get outside of the Nexus. This was a whole new thing, because back then, that was the first Nexus to introduce an area outside of it. To be more exact, it was the third Nexus ever to be introduced, and that Nexus was the first one to have an outside area too. He posted on the WildShadow forums that he got outside of it, and sort of hinted at he should have gotten some sort of Easter egg trigger because he managed to get outside of Valhalla. He had expected some sort of Easter egg because of his efforts. And Amit himself commented on that single post he made and just wrote, "Congrats." Interesting. Congrats for getting outside of Nexus, or congrats for uncovering a secret. The day after, some guy allegedly went and picked up the XML for the sheep that also appeared in that same Nexus. Under the behavior of the sheep, it should be able to drop a portal. A fluffy portal at death. This is very, very easy to fake. You could have just wrote that single code yourself. It is no screenshot or anything. Sadly, neither I or NoobHereo have a client from back then to confirm it. Just for good measure, if any of you guys know anything about this client or have this client in your possession and is able to check this out, would be grateful to have you do that. Even so, Amit himself also replied to that response. His response to the alleged secret sheep level was, "Moo. There is no secret sheep level." Hereby the first mention of the secret sheep level, and also the meme, "There is no secret sheep level." All of this is a reference to the secret cow level embedded in Diablo. The level was also known as Moo Moo Farm, hence the name of the reply that Amit made. Either way, this little interaction on the WildShadow forums sparked a lot of conversation about this secret sheep level. It was said that you could access the sheep level by going into the Nexus and popping a Vine Seller incantation on top of a sheep. If you did so, a portal would spawn. I have this illustrated on screen, but this has never been confirmed by Amit himself. But now, this is not over just yet, because there's never been found a sheep level in the game files. Partly because of the sheep behavior shown in the thread, people thought that Amit referred to a whole new dungeon, and that this dungeon was later removed. But none of this was official. What you're watching on screen is basically just the leftovers of some rumor that the community made up. It was only allegedly possible to trigger the portal spawning by popping an incantation on top of a sheep. Back then, people wouldn't just waste an ink on that. Inks were pretty rare back then, you know. Pretty expensive stuff. So no one ever really wanted to confirm it because they just shoved it aside as something to be meddled with in the future maybe. And that's what NoobHereo and I did. So, the first thing to do is of course to write to Amit himself, and I guess that NoobHereo has some connections I don't. And he responded. And let me just say, this explains a lot about the secret sheep level and what it actually is. So the first thing to take away from his response is, there was 2 sheep levels. One of them was an alternate Nexus design, which had additional sheeps. It was available on the test server and was only made to test out different Nexus designs. He also sent us a link to a level editor, which he used. You see me use it on screen right now, and it's still functional. With that, let's get into the second sheep level. So, the second sheep level was a flash experiment to test out lighting and shadows. That was never a part of RotMG. Okay, so this is where things get interesting, because I of course looked up secret sheep level on YouTube as the first thing to do as soon as I heard about it. And so I found 2 fan-made videos. The description featured a website, so I clicked on it and enabled Flash on the site, and it seemed to work. It showcased some weird sort of sheep level, but this was fan-made. We got a link sent by the guy himself who made it. So let's check out this link first. I can say it was a different link, but only with a slight difference. And so when I came on the page, exactly that. It was the same thing. Enable Flash, and you are playing the secret sheep level. Anyone can do this with a link. Anyone. It says there's no secret sheep level on the page, and with some controls, you can play the sheep level. It is a thing. By playing it, you'll also quickly come to realize what he meant by an experiment with lighting and shadows. You can see some mechanics that hasn't been used in the real game. I really like this effect actually, and I think it could be utilized in a unique way, maybe as a new status effect or an alternate version of the debuff darkness. Funnily enough, if you walk diagonally, you will move twice as fast. As explained to me by NoobHereo, that's because the movement speed from moving sideways and up is added onto each other. Yeah, this is some poor programming, but I guess it served its purpose. Alright, cool. You can play the level, you can go onto the website, refresh the page if you want to. It's randomly generated, it generates new maps for you, and it seems endless, the dungeon you're running around in. But there's more to it. This website is finding its source somewhere, and we gotta find it too. Same as when you played Room of the Mad God on the browser, that website also went and downloaded a client from somewhere. If we can inspect the page and find where the website gets its source, we might be able to flash decompile it. You know, pull it apart, see what's inside, how does this sheep level work? And so, NoobHereo did it. We got the client, and we flash decompiled it, and we now know how it works. Okay, embedded in this client there's a map generator, so whenever you restart the page, it's a freshly new created dungeon. Embedded in the client we have some sprite sheets where the textures were found, and some sounds for the shooting and all that. You see me playing the sheep level still for so long. Why am I playing the sheep level? Allow the following day's calcium to barge in. It was because I was dumb. Nah, it was just a minor misunderstanding. We thought that if you killed all entities, Oryx would spawn. Yeah. Even so, there could be a better way of doing this instead of just going around this endless maze. A way to make this quicker would be to visualize a generated map of this sheep level with use of the map generator embedded in the client we got. But that would turn out to be very difficult, so we couldn't do that. Instead, the only reasonable thing to do was to do it manually. You know, walk around this seemingly endless chamber of shit because there's no minimap, so I don't know where I am, and try to kill all enemies. And so I did. I walked around for this endless mansion for an hour, shooting enemies, getting lost, backtracking, coming back to the same point. Jesus. When you spawn in water, and that's the only water you'll find in the dungeon. But these enemies there is, the sheep, the white demons, the red demons, they roam around the rooms as they wish. So even though I might have cleared a room previously, they could just have moved to another. And also, this map is large. It's very large. It is very large and very random. So let me just share my frustration with you. Alright, so this is the final sheep I'll be killing because I've been doing this stupid level for 55 minutes. Please just spawn O2, please. God, I fucking can't take this anymore. Why does this have to keep going, keep on looping? I keep messing up. I don't know where the fuck I am. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm in a mirage. This is a hallucination. I think I finally get how people think the world is a hologram because I can feel it. I can feel every fiber of my body turning into code on a 2D surface. I can feel how I'm losing sense of reality when doing this stupid, chaotic, auto-generated map that's of no use to anyone. Except for a practical joke. Somebody explain to me what's funny about this. Nothing. This is serious. Let me just show you how to get the client yourself. I'll leave both the link to the level editor and also this original sheep level in the description. But before we get into that, let me just appreciate the help I got from both NoobHereo and also Amit. The guy who made all of this responded to us and explained what the thought behind it was. So huge appreciation. What you see before you is the original secret sheep level. At first glance, there's not much to see on the site, but you just gotta allow flash to be used. Let me just do that. And so you can play the game. Editor's note, I realized that it was very eerie and eerie to listen to me shooting in that sheep level. So, here's the controls. Yeah, let's see what's behind this. We inspect the page. We go to elements and click this body thing of the site. Second to last, script down here. Go into here and you'll see there's a SWF saved, which is a client. Interesting. So we'll take this piece, if I can, if I may, thank you. Copy paste that. And what you want to do is put it right here, right after the slash we have here. paste that in, enter, boom, there we have it. Downloaded and everything. Let's open it up with the Flash decompiler. You can look this up on the internet, it's for free. It says in the name itself. With this you can open Flash clients and see what's inside, uncover all of the secrets hidden. Let's go to scripts and right. Under images we have the 2 sprite sheets being used. There's also the Oryx environment in here, which is very interesting because if we look under the scripts we'll also see nothing interesting. It seems that Oryx-chan, Oryx environment is just the names of the sprite sheets used, hence the little misunderstanding we had. It appears there was no Oryx spawning after all entities was killed after all. Well, why don't you try it out anyway? You know, I'm still curious to see what happens and I don't know my way around this Flash decompiler stuff. So if one of you decides to just sit back and try to kill all the entities in the secret sheep level and see if anything happens, go ahead. Be my guest. I think you could get some easy upvotes on Reddit if you did so. With that, I think I'll stop this video. This has been so intriguing to look into. And you know what, guys? I think I might have some more to showcase. Some stuff that hasn't even been shown on RotMG. Well, just let me know what you think of that, and I'll see you around in another video, right?